verbal riot.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the show. So just to put this out there and let you guys know, I have been kind of sick all week. I've been uh, to the hospital Tuesday because I wasn't feeling well, and it was kind of a weird thing because just the week before I was at a funeral for my uncle, and during the funeral, like during the actual service of the funeral, my cousin, who is younger than I am actually, had a heart attack at the funeral, which was wild, man. And we didn't know he was having a heart attack. We thought it was like a panic attack. But it was turned out to be more serious than that. And luckily we called the ambulance because we didn't want to take a chance that it was something more. Turns out it was something more. It was actually pretty big. They said he had a massive heart attack, which is crazy. Um, Flash forward to Sunday, I wasn't feeling well myself for some reason, and I thought I was just a little off. But then Monday night, I was feeling worse, and then Tuesday, I was having weird chest pains, and I'm thinking, "Oh shit, this is it, man. This is it. I'm 50 years old. I'm having the heart attack, right?" Uh, and so I went to the hospital Tuesday, and the doctors ran all their tests on me and checked my vitals, checked my did the EKG thing on me, did all the things. And they weren't sure what was happening. Then they tested some other things, and it turns out that your boy might have an ulcer. So there was some weird things going on that are very ulcer like. So it turns out that I might have an ulcer. And so I've been kind of just sick all week, right? I've been dealing with that, and to make it a little bit worse, the medicine they gave me um, basically makes me very drowsy. So hopefully, I can get through this. I had other topics planned to go along with this particular topic, but I thought it'd be better just for my sake to have a shorter show today and just keep it more linear, 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 linear. Fuck it, just more focused. you know, and hopefully, this stuff right here, I'm basically shotgunning Red Bull right now to keep my energy up. And by the way, I probably should not be drinking this with the medicine I'm taking, but look, it is what it is, man. I got to try something because so here's the other thing. Along with that medicine that I'm taking, I can't drink any alcohol, I can't smoke any weed, I can't eat any edibles. So basically, I'm on this forced sobriety, right? Along with like Chris Gore. So like, I was joking with him because tomorrow night we're going to be going to watch this Batman burlesque show out in Hollywood, and I told him, you know what, man, Diet Coke's on me the whole night because neither one of us could drink. And since Alan Ing doesn't drink and he's pretty straight edge, basically Film Thread is just very sober right now. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. You know what? Maybe I needed that. Maybe I needed to kind of cleanse the body a little bit and not partake in my usual uh activities. So anyway, yeah. So obviously you guys know what I'm talking about today because it's all everybody's talking about uh, on the internets and the social media, which is the Acolyte. So, yes, I had the misfortune of having watched both episodes, and I have a lot to say, not just about the Acolyte, but about Disney, period. And I'm going to get into that right now. So, and again, you guys just please bear with me, man. I'm definitely trying to, you know, keep this show professional and happening. But if I'm a little off, all I ask is that you be a little gracious today. Um, anyway, okay, let's get into the Acolyte. So we all knew this show was coming, right? I mean, we all knew it was coming. We were dreading it. Some people were excited about it actually. Some for good reasons, some for absolutely the wrong reasons. But we were all looking forward to the show because we all knew that it was going to be an absolute train wreck. And I got to tell you, didn't disappoint. Leslie Headland has been threatening us with this show for almost a year now, Probably longer than that, man. I don't know how long I've been hearing about it. Actually, you know what? It has been longer than that. It's been a few years now that I think about it, because I was just remembering like old Comic Cons that I went to, and they were always kind of promoting the Acolyte at the Star Wars booth, right? Even if it was just on a small level, they were still promoting it, and they were selling all their High Republic merch and all that stuff. And so I actually I do remember that. And here it is. We finally have it, right? And I got to tell you, man, it, it's funny, but it's very sad. It's very sad for a lot of reasons. Uh, but let's get more into the actual show. I'm not really going to review this, guys. I'm not going to review it. I am going to talk about it, but I'm not doing like an actual review. First of all, because we've only had 2 episodes, so I can't even give it like a full review. I can only talk about what I've seen. But just from what I've seen, yeah, okay. So for those who haven't seen it and don't know what this show is about, it's a murder mystery that gets solved in the first 5 minutes of the film. I mean, of the show. If you remember the trailer was like someone's killing Jedi's, right? And it was this big mystery of who's killing the Jedi's. We find out in the first 5 minutes who's killing Jedi's, and you know what? Okay, I guess the show's over, right? Now we know. Now we know who's killing the Jedi's, and it's look, we don't. The High Republic is one of those things that no one really knows anything about because they kind of just made it up, right? Which is fine. You can say all of Star Wars is made up, but it basically it gives them a way out. It gives them a way of not having to stick to what George Lucas created, right? It gives them their own way of having of being able to tell their own stories, but they're agenda filled stories, right? So they don't have to really worry about the fans because the fans can't argue with them, right? We can't argue because we know nothing about the High Republic. This show could have been actually something pretty cool. It could have been cool. It could have been like, hey, let's look at a different time of the Jedi's, right? But we have to remember this is Disney Star Wars we're talking about here. This isn't George Lucas Star Wars. A George Lucas High Republic probably would have been amazing, but that's not what we're getting or what we got. We have Disney. So we start out the episode with Carrie Ann Moss, right? Remember her, Trinity? We all love Trinity, right? From the Matrix. We were happy to see that she was in the show. We start out with her, and I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, cool. Let's if she's in it, it has to be kind of good, right? Nope, because they kill her off right in the beginning. She did not want to be a part of this show. She wanted to be out as soon as possible, and you know what? She got her wish. She got the hell out of there, right? So Trinity, because I don't really know her name in the show or don't care to remember. Trinity uh is a Jedi who I guess helped save these two twins, which again it was supposed to be a mystery, right? These two girls being twins. And I can't even remember the character's name. I remember her real name is Amanda Stenberg, I think. And I only remember that because of all the stupid shit she's been saying in the media lately. But Amandla, not even Amanda, Amandla, what a dumbass name. But Amandla, I'm just going to call her that. Amandla basically confronts Trinity, and she's the evil twin, by the way, not the good twin. The evil twin confronts Trinity and tells her, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to kill you for some reason, right? That we know nothing about." And so they get into this old style like kung fu fight, right? This like wiry, like it's like the old kung fu movies. They get into this fight, and Trinity's doing her Matrix thing, right, where she's doing karate in slow motion, and there comes a point in their fight where Amandla pulls out her knives, right? Blades. And I'm talking like blades this big, right? Like blades I used to cut my apples with. Trinity pulls out a lightsaber, right? So Amanda's throwing the knives at her, and Trinity's blocking him with the lightsaber. Okay, cool. Cool. But then Amanda tricks her, right? Because she throws a knife at an innocent bystander. And while she does that, she throws another knife. And as you can see from the picture, hits Trinity in the chest. I don't know her name either. I'm just gonna call her Trinity. So she kills her with this blade like this big, right? And don't get me wrong, sure, a blade to the chest is, you know, it's a kill shot for sure, right? But then I think about how I've seen Star Wars properties recently where people get cut, stabbed, impaled with lightsabers, and they're walking around the next day. They're fine. Just a flesh wound, right? We've seen it happen. We saw it in Kenobi. We saw it in Ahsoka. No one dies from lightsabers. Lightsabers have basically become like glow sticks. They're just glow sticks for Jedi's to like wave around, and I it's remember how cool lightsabers used to be, guys? How as a kid you always wanted a lightsaber? Now it's almost embarrassing if you own a lightsaber, right? Now I know it's for kids, right? Because they love to say that. It's a kids show, right? Even though a woman just got stabbed in the heart with a blade. It's a kids show. See, that's one of their get out of jail frees, right? They could always just say it's a kids show. When story starts to falter. And so then the story goes on from there. Um, we meet the good twin, and she's unimpressive. We meet this huck of a Jedi Knight who, basically looks like an effeminate killmonger and his Padawan, right? And then we meet some of the other Jedis, right? We meet what was it, the actor from Squid Game, Lee Jung Jae. Yeah. So he plays, an older Jedi who is a teacher, and it turns out Amanda was one of his students. So he feels a responsibility, right? Because the thing is, no one knows the evil twin is alive. So they think the good twin is the one who killed the Jedi, right? So they go looking for her. And then they find out that the evil twin is alive. The they're guys, I wish this was cooler than it is, but it's really not. It's really not. And I don't even know if it was intended to be that way, right? I feel like Leslie Headland, look, let's call it what it is. She doesn't care about the fans. She's made that perfectly clear. Kathleen Kennedy definitely doesn't care. And I firmly believe that they just want to destroy everything that George Lucas created. Like, there's really nothing to review here, guys. Like it's and sure, it's only episode 2. So I'm not gonna judge it as hard as I could right now. I heard from a lot of people who have seen up to episode 4 that if you were barely hanging on as a Star Wars fan, episode 3 is gonna be your way out. It's gonna be your way out. And I'm actually holding on to episode 3 because I've said this many times, I always give a show, any show, especially one that I'm reviewing, I always give a show 3 episodes. I give you up to 3. And at that point, I either stay on or I'm out. From what I'm hearing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out. I'm already out, but I'm going to give it to that 3rd episode because I heard that's where the shit really hits the fan. That's where they go balls out nuts as far as we don't want any of the old Star Wars fans anymore. And I gotta admit, I'm a little curious. I'm very curious about this. Um, I put out a tweet today, and I got in a little trouble for it because I mentioned this stab wound, right? That Trinity has in her chest. I mentioned the stab wound because, again, lightsabers just don't do any damage anymore, and I'm kind of shocked at how many people responded to that tweet that I put out. And it's crazy hearing them justify how, because I was comparing Trinity Trinity's wound to Sabine, right? Sabine from Ahsoka. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the wound. So this is what happened in Ahsoka. She literally got stabbed through the chest. Well, the stomach. Okay, she got stabbed through the stomach with a lightsaber. A lightsaber. Okay. This was her the next day. This was her wound the next day after getting impaled with the lightsaber. And she was up walking around fine the very next day. And, I had all these people trying to give me the science behind, why she was able to do it. And, oh, well, the lightsaber cauterized the wound, right? And I'm thinking, that's not how that works. So, just to kind of show you guys that how full of shit they are, this is what a lightsaber does when it enters a property, right?
I want to ask you both because
Oh, sorry, that's the other video I'm gonna show you. So,
Close the blast doors!
so there's already steel he's cutting through, and they just added more steel, right? So we're looking at about 30 inches of steel.
Coming through. This is impossible.
That is what a lightsaber does when it cuts through something. So you're telling me that cigarette mark on her stomach, that cigarette mark, eh, what? That should have been her stomach right there. That should have been her body. She should be dead. She should have been dead. But again, there's no consequence to lightsabers anymore. It's no longer the coolest weapon in science fiction. It's garbage. And it's just one of the many things that Disney has done to this franchise, man. It sucks and it's sad. And don't even get me started on what they've done to the men of Star Wars. They have basically cucked all the men. The men are either effeminate or useless. That's it. There are no more strong men in Star Wars. Well, some will say, well, what about the Mandalorian? Yeah, the Mandalorian was cool for the first, what, 2 seasons? And then what happened in the last season? He gets cut by Bo-Katan, right? He becomes her sidekick because they have to have girl power in the Mandalorian. They needed her to be a girl boss, right? Now, maybe I'm just cranky because I'm not feeling well, right? Maybe I'm being too harsh or harsher than I would normally be. Because when I did watch it, I was pretty meted out on these pills. And maybe I didn't give it a fair shake. But you know what? I knew I was okay. I knew I wasn't when the very next day I I every now and then I'll look at the reaction channels, right? Because I sometimes some of the reaction channels, some of those guys, they have good insight, good inputs, right? So I'll watch them. Don't get me wrong, most of the reaction channels are shills. Most of them are fake, but some are okay. But I wanted to watch the fake ones. I wanted to watch the shills because I wanted to see what they had to say about this show. I wanted to see how hard they were going to shill for this show. They were having trouble they were having trouble. They were fighting for good words to say, right? And these are people who get the gift baskets and the nice things from Disney, and they were having a hard time coming up with something positive. It was funny to watch, to be honest with you. Like they were scrambling for something decent to say. They were going down to, oh well, the set design. I'm like, dude, just stop. Just stop. Right? The best compliment they could give it was the choreography from the beginning, from the first 5 minutes of the show. They couldn't even do it. They couldn't do it. And it was hilarious to watch. See, I'd be okay if Disney literally just tried to do a story, it didn't work, and okay, but it was all done in good faith. I can understand that, but we all know that these shows, these movies, anything we all know, anything coming out of Disney right now is not in good faith. We know this, right? It's all agenda filled. Now, some of you are probably like, oh, here they go talking about the agenda, talking about the message, but am I wrong? Prove me wrong. For example,
I would say arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay?
Are you,
Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point?
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure some.
Because nerds are gay.
Well,
Yeah.
some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
so you're either a gay nerd or you're threatened by gay nerds. No in between. You can't just be critical of the show because it's bad, right? You're either gay or you're a bigot. One or the other. And this isn't the first time we've seen this, right? It's not the first time we've seen this. They do it with everything. The Little Mermaid. If you're not down with Black Ariel, you are a bigot. If you're not down with this character that was straight at one point, that was originally straight, if you're not cool with them being gay now, you're a bigot, right? And that's their get out of jail free card from criticism. You know what? I know I'm really bad at this, so I'm before I go any further with this, I'm going to look at some of the comments because I know you guys, I'm really bad at checking comments. I need to get a. By the way, I'm putting this out there for everybody. I am looking for a mod. If someone can, mod for me, that would be really cool. If you got some experience modding, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to help. So yes, I am putting out an SOS for a mod. Hit me up. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know if you're down to do it. And it's not like a full-time thing. It's just like every now and then when I need a mod, I'll call on you. But I am putting it out there to the riot sphere. I just made that up, by the way. The riot sphere. Yeah. If you're down to mod for me, please just let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna get to some of these comments right now. All right. So this is from Spidey Sin 72. I guess her wound was instantly cauterized. See, that's what they keep saying, right? They keep going to the cauterization thing, right? That it seals the wound. Problem is that doesn't help you when organs are being hit by, something that hot, as we saw with the steel door, right? All right, let's get to another one. Darth Plato. It's narrative fallacy promoted through groupthink and passive aggressive attitudes. You know what? I agree with that, but I think it's a little bit more nefarious than that. I think it's a lot more sinister than just that. And I'm gonna get to that pretty soon. Let's get to another one. All right, this is from Benzinger, aka you guys are killing me with these names, man. Otaku, aka the Weeb Pillar. Have you guys heard about Gavin McKean's saying anime is for P words? Yeah, I saw that video, and I really don't want to get into that guy. I think he was trolling for the most part, or he was just baiting. You know what I mean? It's a stupid saying, man. It's I don't think he was legit, to be honest. I think he was grifting. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he doesn't genuinely hate anime, but I just think that, come on. All right. Sanjuro says, Captain, biggest shields at 38%. Yeah. It's this the Acolyte's getting eaten up on Rotten Tomatoes right now by the audience score. Now, what they're trying to say is that, the review bombs, right? They're saying it's being review bombed by bigots. Don't forget, we're all bigots if we don't like their stuff. So they're saying they're getting review bombed. By the way, the critic score, 96 or 97%. Bruh. Come on, man. I mean, look, if it was like 70%, I'd be like, okay, maybe they're legit. 97, 96% for the Acolyte. Okay. By the way, 38% is still too high of a score. Just putting it out there. All right, let's get to another one. Fletcher. Hey, Fletcher, what's up, man? Love you to death, man. You've always been great support to me and the channel. Yes, they do Pilgrim Media. Not sure what that means, but that's probably because I probably missed a prior comment. All right, I'm gonna check one more before I jump into what I want to talk about. Oh, there's Pilgrim Media. Okay, there we go. Does Disney ignore continuity on purpose? And Fletcher just answered that. Yes, they do ignore it on purpose because they hate George Lucas. Guys, that's what you have to understand here, man. Disney Star Wars hates George Lucas, and they hate everything that he created. And what they're trying to do is destroy everything he created. They're trying to destroy everything he stood for. And to be honest with you, it's not just Lucasfilm. I mean, if you look at the MCU, if you look at even Pixar, their own property, they are destroying everything that we loved, right? And this is where the bigot part comes in, right? Because again, if you don't agree with everything that they talk about, right? If you don't agree with, trans characters being in children's cartoons, if you don't agree with race swapping, if you don't agree with gender swapping, if you don't agree with, homosexual couples and you are a bigot. Now, hear me out. There are genuine bigots out there, okay? I'm not saying they're not. There are. Of course there are. There's bigots everywhere. But they take any criticism of. Look, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Star Wars, it's not like we know, even back when Lucas did his thing, we didn't know everybody's sexuality, right? We knew that Han and Leia were straight, and that was the only romantic relationship in the originals, outside of Leia kissing her brother, but we'll get into that another time. But we weren't concerned about everybody's sexuality because it's Star Wars. We didn't care. In the prequels, yeah, Anakin and Padme. You know what? We needed that relationship because they're the mother and father of Luke Skywalker and Leia. So they had to get together. Other than that, we didn't know anything. We didn't care about that. We cared about the story and the characters. But now we have to care about everybody's sexuality in a show, or we're bigots. And again, the bigot shield is there to protect them against criticism. So they could fail and fail and fail, but it's not their fault. It's not the bad writing, it's not the bad directing, it's not the bad acting. It's our fault for being bigots. And if you want to talk about bad acting, oh my God, Leslie Hetland's wife, her wife has a big role in the show, right? Her wife, she is one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. Her deliveries are so cringe. When she says, "May the force be with you," dude, I was like, wait, did she break character? Because she is like, I wish I was exaggerating on how bad she is. But and I would say watch it for yourself, but I'm not gonna ask anybody to watch this show. Or at least if you're gonna watch it, please don't give Disney your money. Find another way to watch it. That's what I'm doing. I got rid of my Disney Plus a long time ago. I'll be damned if I get Disney another dime. I'll be shocked if I even pay to go see Wolverine and Deadpool, to be honest with you. Now, I'll probably see it through other means, but I'm not giving them my money. Guys, don't give them your money. If you're not one of their, like she said, one of their gay nerds, they hate you. Right? They hate you if you're not one of their gay nerds. Because you have to be one or the other, right? In fact, I'm going to continue that clip.
But in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay.
In her world,
Is this
nerds
the
are
fun
gay.
element of
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly
You're offended?
into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me with a straight face that
So they get into R2D2 and 3PO being gay lovers, right? Two robots. Right? So they're calling this the gayest Star Wars ever. Boy, I'm sold. I'm sold. As a kid, that's all I ever wanted was the gayest Star Wars ever. When I was playing with my Luke and my Han action figures, I was just hoping I get one movie where the two of them are just banging it out. Ugh, I'm too sick for this. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna tell you a very sad fact here. A very sad fact. Star Wars is done. It's dead. And I want you to understand when I say it's dead, I mean it's not dead for a brief little period of time, right? Like it's like, oh, it'll go away and then it'll come back strong. No, it's gone. This is Star Wars now. For now on. They're ready to die on this hill. There is no, oh, maybe one day. All the love that you had for Star Wars, hold on to that. Hold on to, like, your memories of the original trilogy, right? Hold on to the to the prequels, right? Hold on to all the things that you loved about Star Wars because that's it. That's as good as it's going to get. It's not going to get any better than what you had back then. They are not going to bend on this. They would rather burn it to the ground. They would burn Star Wars to the ground before they give you what you want. Believe that. You know how I know that? You know what their next project is? The Rey movie. The Rey movie. You think they care about what you want? You think they care about profits? You think they care about making money? Absolutely not. And we see that with all of their products, not just Star Wars. We see it with the MCU. We see it with Pixar. They don't care. The agenda, the message is all that matters. Why do you guys think? Well, before I get into what I'm about to say, I'm gonna do a few more comments because again, I've been very bad at these comments, so I'm trying to get better, guys. And again, I need a mod. So if anybody wants to mod for me, please let me know. Darth Plato says it's a roast at this point. Yeah, it's over. It's over, and it's sad to say. It's sad to say, but you know what though? We had some good years. We had some good years, guys. You know, there was a time when being a Star Wars fan meant something. It was a good run. Henry Hazlitt says, "Don't give money to people who hate you." Yes, guys. Why would you give money to someone who hates you? Who goes out of their way to tell you that, by the way. They go out of their way. It's not like, it's a thing that they whisper between each other. They publicly, on red carpets, in interviews, tell you how much they despise you. Why are you giving them your hard-earned money? And I say that with everything. Video games, movies, TV, whatever. Support people who support you. Support people who like you. All right, let's see. Spidey Sense, 72. The people who were bullied have now become the bullies. Yeah, we're looking at a Revenge of the Nerds situation, except with right. It's just that's what we're looking at here. It's the people who felt excluded, I guess, which is weird to say, man, because Star Wars fans, and I'm gonna just say fans of geekdom, period. Whether it be comic books, fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, we've that community, my community, our community has never been we never excluded people. We didn't exclude people. If you were a Star Wars fan, no one cared what you were. They didn't care if you were straight, gay, whatever, as long as you loved Star Wars. That's all they cared about. Right? Comic books, man. When I used to read comics, I hung out with the nerds who loved comics. Right? The white nerds, the black nerds, the Mexican nerds, the gay nerds, whoever, as long as we loved comics and respected the properties, that's who we hung out with. These people, they don't love these properties. They don't love any of this. And you know why I know that? Because I guarantee you, once they burn it to the ground, they're not going to shed one tear. They're going to move on to something else to destroy. Okay. Let me read another one. Darth Plato. Helen desperately created a crucible at the expense of Star Wars history and fandom. She she did, but she's only doing what she's allowed to do, right? Because if we have to remember, like, Leslie Headland is a tool. She's a tool for Kathleen Kennedy. All right. Stardust. They canceled the Rey movie. Oh, I didn't know that. Surprisingly, but I don't know. I don't know if they've canceled it or if it's just put on the shelf for a minute. You know what I mean? I honestly don't think they're going to cancel it. I think they're just kind of waiting for the dust to clear. But you know what? I've been wrong before. Oops, I read that one already. And I'm going to read one more. This is bigger than KK. Darth Plato. And Darth Plato, you're right. This is way bigger than KK, right? But I don't want to get into a conversation about BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street. And guys, we all know the deal. We know who's funding all this. We know who's going to bail out Disney when we all walk away. Right? That's part of the deal. They put out their message, and once they fail, they bail them out. We all know that. I'm not going to get too deep into that because number one, I don't have the energy right now. But also, I'd be talking about that for another hour if I did. But we all know the deal on that. Like I said, the message is all that matters. Fuck profits. Guys, why do you think that they're trying so hard? Why do you think they're trying so hard to get rid of physical media? Right? They don't want evidence of what was. They want to be able to only have digital media so that they can go back and retcon what they want. Right? So they can say, oh, that's always been there, right? Because now, since there's no physical media, we can't prove it, right? They're going out of their way to get rid of physical media so that we have to rely on digital. And not just for that reason, for multiple reasons, but that's the biggest reason they're trying to get rid of physical media. So hold on to those DVDs. Hold on to those VHSs. Hold on to the physical media that you have. Because they're trying to do away with all that. Because that's their way of getting rid of proof. We're only 2 episodes in to the Acolyte, guys. 2 episodes. And like I said, I'm out at the 3rd. I already know this. Like for me to stay on after this means that I'm either trolling or I lost a bet. But other than that, I'm pretty sure I'm out. If you guys look, and I never tell people what they should and shouldn't do. If you genuinely like this show, like genuinely, like if you could say with a clear conscience that this is something you truly enjoy, by all means, do it, man. I'm the biggest cheerleader when it comes to loving bad movies, bad TV shows. But again, the difference is I can tell you that they're bad. I'll tell you myself that I like this because it's awful. And I just have a penchant for certain bad movies and TV shows. I don't apologize for it. And if you like it, then be honest. Be honest that it is bad. But if you really like it, go ahead. But I know most people, I guarantee you, the drop off after episode 3 is going to be massive. Massive. Because, guys, from what I've heard, if you think they're destroying Lucas now, episode 3 it's endgame. It's over. It's over, man. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, guys, like I said, I was going to keep this one a little short today just because uh man, I'm trying to get better, guys. Pray for me out there. I don't know what's going on. Doctors are, other than the ulcer that got, and maybe that's a big deal. Maybe I'm underestimating how big an ulcer is. But yeah, I'm trying to get better because like I said, I don't like when I set a date to do a show, I go out of my way to make sure that happens. And I hate like postponing my show. And if I say I'm gonna do it Wednesday, I'm gonna do it Wednesday. And I wasn't able to do it yesterday, and I hate that. But you know what? You guys, just thank you for supporting me. You guys have been great, man. Like, look, there's a lot of things you guys could be doing than listening to this asshole rant, right? I mean, plenty of other things, better things you should be doing. You probably shouldn't even be watching me right now. But I'm glad that you are. I'm really glad that you are, man. And here's the thing. I'm sorry if I didn't get to any of your comments today, but if I find that mod, if I get that mod to help me out, I will get to a lot more comments. I promise you that, man. But thank you guys so much. I'm literally going to. I can already feel my body crashing. I'm going to crash after this, and just sleep for a while. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this wasn't going to be a full review just because there's really not much to talk about with this show. I can tell you right now, though, please, if you love Star Wars, hold on to those old memories, right? hold on to those prequels and to the original trilogy. Hold on to it, man, because that's all we're going to get. That's all we're going to get. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your night, man.